What is up, people? What is up, people? What is up, people? It is your day of Cloud Dosage Geeks, Hard Knock Digital Culture, and MM2K Gaming, back again with another episode of Cloud Meets Mainstream. This is our show where we talk about the latest and greatest in cloud gaming news, and we try to do it with a twist, something a little bit different for our cloud native gamers. We try to do it with a twist and help you guys relate more to what's going on in mainstream gaming, because some of you might be saying, well, why we got to do that? Well, we want this love of ours, which is cloud gaming, to expand and to reach into the outer regions of success. It has to latch on to the needs of cloud gaming too, while of mainstream gamers as well, while maintaining the essence of what we're looking for. I think that oftentimes we think it's just a matter of mainstream gamers just coming to their senses, and it doesn't work like that. You have to appeal to their vices, and then once you appeal to their vices, then once they're in the dome, then you can start showing them everything that they've been missing from the outside. But you got to appeal to those vices first. So we want to talk about some of these things that may make news for us on the cloud gaming front, right? Things that we think are negative or we may think are positive, but then we try to put a litmus to it from the mainstream gaming side. I've been doing a lot of mainstream gaming content. If you haven't been paying attention, and yeah, they're very tough cookies to crack. Mainstream gamers, like there's things like I have debates all the time about friction and, not waiting for downloads and the transportability, and that's not appetizing to their vices. I'm not saying it needs to go away. I think that needs to remain, but there are some other things that need to be appetizing to their vices, and that's, I think the biggest bridge in between that gap is NVIDIA Geforce now at the moment. I really appreciate what they're doing. I think they're, and not to take away anything from all the other cloud platforms, but I think Geforce now is doing the best in regards to appealing to that gap. With that said, I am your host, MM2K. We're going to be talking about Xbox. Admittingly, not my favorite entity in this cloud gaming space, but something very significant happened. We're going to talk about it, in regards to how it has a huge, potent possibility of propelling cloud gaming to newer heights. But before we get into all that, do us a huge favor, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and rock those bells for notifications, please. And for those of you that are not familiar, this is a show that we launch for our members, and then after a week or so or a few days, in this case it'll be shorter because we're recording this a day or two later than we would normally record it. After a few days or a week or so, it becomes public affair. We record these normally every Thursday, but the last few Thursdays been kind of caught up doing some things to where we've been on a hiatus, but now we're back. All right, so let's talk about it. Let's see here. Want to talk Xbox? Let's put all Xbox here. Hold on. I thought I had all Xbox here. Do I? I believe so, right? Yeah, I think this is all Xbox stuff. I could be wrong. It was, give me, hold on. What are we looking at here? Bear with me as I try to get access to the video. Okay, there we go. All right, so that's the main video. Here's the video that we want to take a look at. We got to fix this right here too. Watching the sausage being made. trying to format some things, get some things better looking here on the scenes. Okay, there we go. All right, now we fixed that. Okay, so here's what's going on recently with Xbox. And as you can see in the title, this is called Xbox. The new Xbox era has begun. Right? Xbox essentially hit the gaming scene as a high-powered console that brought the revelations of, or some of the revelations of PC gaming, like more powerful, more visually enhanced gaming, more hardcore, more edgy gaming. It brought the revelations of that to console. And where Xbox got its name from is DirectX portion of it. It's really the Direct Xbox, but they just decided to call it Xbox. The thing about Xbox is that it brought in a group of gamers like myself because of that edge, and notably its technology as well. They're the ones that they didn't pioneer it, but they really pushed broadband internet gaming. First console, I believe, with a hard drive. Their multimedia aspects were like revolutionary. And then most importantly, the games were awesome. They were like, games that you would see on the PC. But you didn't have to have a powerful, expensive rig with all these complicated PC components in order to enjoy what Xbox had to offer. So it brought you the best of both worlds, the hardcore, edgy, and the performance side of PC gaming, without all the complication, more plug and play with it. Now, and Xbox reached its apex with the 360. Which was a multimedia technological marvel as far as consoles were concerned. Probably the best console ever made, arguably, as far as everything it can do, along with the games that it offered. And then too, was revolutionary because it changed gaming forever as far as just the games alone. I mean, it changed gaming, as far as the technology was concerned, but just the games alone, it changed gaming forever. So you fast forward to now, where Microsoft is trying to rebound under new leadership, not new leadership, but the latest and the most recent band of leadership under Phil Spencer. They've kind of changed their agenda in a major way to where those hardcore, gritty, top of the line, revolutionary games, they're not at the core of what they're trying to do. It's more or less they're trying to use technology to make gaming more accessible to you. So they've gone from edgy, technological marvel to footprint and accessibility. That hasn't happened without controversy. And, I may be one of the most controversial people that that talks and heavily criticizes Xbox. But nonetheless, what I can credit them for is being very vocal on accessibility. I don't have a problem with accessibility as long as it doesn't take away too much from the quality. Now, the quality part still up for air, and I feel like that still needs to be fine-tuned. But the accessibility part, the desire for accessibility, I think is something really important, and I'm happy to see that that's part of what they're proposing, right? So they released xCloud. That was their main attempt at accessibility was xCloud. To be fair, it didn't deliver wholeheartedly on everything that the mainstream gaming community was looking for. I know us as cloud gamers, as a ready backup to when Stadia shut down, and for some of those that really looking at the cloud gaming landscape, when they looked at the games that were typically on the cloud gaming landscape, they may have looked at some of the offerings in Game Pass and said, oh, that was something that's cool, that's interesting, that, you know, for a very small nominal entry fee, I get to access that I may not get to access elsewhere. So they like that about xCloud. But with all those things, you know, it became a topic of discussion for cloud gamers, but for the mainstream audience, particularly when the server blades went up, the latest server blades went up like a couple years ago, rather. Might even be 3 years. It didn't land where a lot of us thought it would land. That being said, they've had some complications because of ABK and the court cases associated to obtaining ABK. They now have ABK, but the cloud rights to their games in future games for a subsequent amount of time belong to Ubisoft. So like Activision Blizzard, that has become more expedient on the cloud because of the APK deal, and then they're in the hands of Ubisoft, who is very friendly with the cloud community. That's cool. That being said, there are a lot of things that we want to see improvements on, right? So all of these efforts go out of heavily favored in the cloud region, and they go to a heavily favored in the console region. I mean, in the mainstream region, right? And I don't want to, let me not say go from, but expand from. Okay. Last week they made an announcement that I feel like is a step in that direction. Again, I've been heavily critical of Xbox. It's no secret. With that being said, we did a video on the mainstream gaming content channel, MM2K Gaming, where we talked significantly about we're still skeptical about how this will land, because until we officially see things on the retail side, you often let yourself down when you go by rumors or speculation when it comes to Xbox. It's best to wait until the product is released. In that realm, there are rumors. We'll talk about those rumors, but I want to talk first and foremost about the things that are definitive, right? So let's do that. Let's bring this up. This is an article that came out last week, and it says Xbox comes to Amazon Fire TV, play popular games without a console. So it says play top game titles like Starfield, Fallout 4, and Forza Horizon 5 on your Fire TV, no console required. For gamers looking for a convenient, affordable way to play their favorite Xbox titles, a new collaboration between Xbox and Amazon has you covered. In July, Xbox Game Pass Ultimate members can access and play hundreds of titles of cloud-enabled games directly through Xbox app on select Fire TV devices, no console required. Okay. So the significance of that is you have Amazon, who has their own cloud streaming service in Amazon Luna, right? And then the Prime games that are offered, off of Luna for Prime members. And the fact that Amazon does not partner with anybody else, from my understanding, to have a direct app for the Fire TV. I don't even think Shadow has one. I think they had one, and I could be wrong. But I think that this native app is going to be the only of its kind outside of Luna. Again, could be wrong on that. But what I can tell you is that NVIDIA GeForce Now doesn't have a native app. And yeah, you can try to sideload this stuff, but from what I've discovered and what I've tested with Fire TV, the side loading never works. efficiently enough to what you're used to if you're doing it from a natively supported app, not on the Fire TV stick. So for this to be, natively built for those devices, for those stream sticks, that's a step in the right direction as far as accessibility for Xbox. And not only is it because, this might be like an exclusive app situation outside of Luna for Xbox. I think the bigger thing is that Xbox didn't have a native dongle app. They had an app for Samsung TVs or anything like that, but me going to buy a Samsung TV for the purpose of accessing Xbox is way less likely than me going to get a Fire TV stick to access Xbox, right? It's a lot more accessible, a lot more affordable to do that. So now that they have that partnership, those are two very stark things in the favor of Xbox that are happening. And now, for full transparency, there are only two brands or two models. They're both the 2023 4K TV models. The 4K TV and the 4K TV something, I forgot the name of it, but it's just those two models that are rolling out first in July, which, there may be other models later, who knows? I don't want to speculate or guess. And in combination with that, I do see that this initial rollout is going to be the biggest with people that already have Game Pass, but now have a different place to play it. I don't know how big this will be for new Game Pass members, even though Call of Duty, I assume that with this rollout, Call of Duty is going to heavily be pushed. Hey, you can play Call of Duty on your Fire Stick, right? Play it on your Fire TV. That's going to be huge because, again, a lot of people are not going to be able to say that. You can play Call of Duty on your Fire TV through Xbox. We'll see how that all bodes. Now, when I say huge, I don't want to disillusion anybody. I want to say that'll be huge because then that'll be the jumps that could possibly be the jump point to where we start seeing an uptick in Game Pass subscriptions again. We run into a wall where Game Pass subscriptions have pretty much come to a screeching halt, and it's not just Game Pass; it's gaming subscriptions altogether. You know what I mean? They did their thing during the pandemic, but post-pandemic, people are back out to their daily routines. They're not in the house playing games all day. And the average gamer, when they get back to their normal routine, they're just picking out 2 games a year. They may have 7 to 8 games that they periodically interact with in their library at a particular time during a generation. So, again, that's why I said I want to disillusion anybody, make it like this is that big break. There's still a lot of things to crack through to the mainstream. Here's how I see this potentially cracking through the mainstream. Again, through Call of Duty. Call of Duty is going to be the biggest driver. But the thing is Call of Duty the biggest driver because I don't have a console and I want to play the latest Call of Duty? Or is it a bigger driver because it's going to drive me to Game Pass? Now, Call of Duty could be a big driver, but it's going to be in the $17.99. I think that the price is $17.99 version of Game Pass. Now, is the price going up around? I don't know. And I think $17.99 is a stiff sale for anybody that doesn't want. It's stuff sell for anybody to just try out and say, oh, there's this gaming thing on here. Who doesn't already have a console? There's this gaming thing on here that has Call of Duty in it. Let's get it for Fire TV at $17.99. I don't know. Here's what I will say though. Potentially for a lot of disenfranchised gamers that fit into the 1 to 5% cloud gaming community. Yeah, that I think that's a big pull for them. The price, could be significant or not. And it's Game Pass Ultimate only, just so everybody's aware. It's not PC Game Pass. Of course, it's not console Game Pass. It's not Game Pass Core. It's Game Pass Ultimate only that you can get through the service. So again, I mean, a lot of those disenfranchised people, a $20 or $18 subscription might not, might be a little bit more than what they're willing to do, unless again, they didn't want to fully commit to a console, but they do want to play games, and they are interested in getting quote unquote back into Call of Duty all these years. So yeah, I really think that it'll give them a leg up with the cloud gaming community, but very skeptical about what it does as far as like a mainstream gaming push. All right, so that's that. Fire TV, cool stuff, but there's some more interesting things happening. Let's take a look at this. So, as we all know, Game Pass is available on NVIDIA GeForce Now. That's my favorite way to interact with Xbox games. It's PC Game Pass and playing PC Game Pass on NVIDIA GeForce Now. Well, if you have NVIDIA GeForce Now and you've never had Game Pass, you could sign up for NVIDIA GeForce Now and get 3 months of Game Pass. And this offer started June 4th. I'm not sure when. Great offer. It's for full disclosure, it's only working with current Game Pass. I mean, no, not current Game Pass. New Game Pass subscribers. So I had Game Pass on another account. I had to use my other account, my other Xbox account, to get this deal. And after 3 months, then we'll see what other subsequent deals there might be out there. But yeah, so that's that. GeForce Now, they're not being shy of advertising through GeForce Now. And if you get GeForce Now, you can get Game Pass for 3 months for free. So look at it this way. Say if you have Game Pass, PC Game Pass, say if you have Game Pass Ultimate and you have Game Pass Ultimate mainly for Xbox games, right? Mainly for the Xbox games. And let's just say some of these Xbox games don't perform up to par for you. My suggestion is you might want to check out this deal. You might want to check it out. Get PC Game Pass. Sign up for it. Use, and try it on another account maybe. Try it on another account. Get PC Game Pass. And if you like playing your PC Game Pass games, the PC Game Pass version of your games, which gives you your PC games, if you like playing them either via the web browser, wherever GeForce Now is, also, just so you're aware, GeForce Now, you can play it through your web browser. Like I was showing people how they could play Starfield the week that it launched. You could play it on your Xbox console in 60 frames per second via the GeForce Now. The GeForce Now website. You go through the Chrome browser, the Edge browser on your Xbox, sign in the GeForce Now there, and then you were playing Starfield 60 frames per second the week that it launched. And you get all the PC settings on there too through GeForce Now. So it actually played better than natively on the console. So you have that dynamic. And I would say try PC Game Pass. Like, try this code. If you already have Game Pass Ultimate, I don't know if you can switch it to PC Game Pass. Not sure you would want to do it, but try it. And then what you do is you go to Geforce Now, and then you sync your Geforce Now and your PC Game Pass account together, and see if you like it. Now, even though you can play your NVIDIA Geforce Now version of PC Game Pass on your Xbox, I hope that doesn't confuse you. Play Geforce Now on your Xbox, and then through that, play your PC Game Pass version of your Game Pass games. You can do that there. There looks like there's going to be more integrated access between the two, between Game Pass and between NVIDIA GeForce Now. What am I talking about? There is this tweet that came, and it was making the rounds, and this came from Extus, who, and when you translate it, it says NVIDIA GeForce Now integrated into Xbox. It says it seems that a bigger deal is lurking between Xbox and NVIDIA, and its announcement may be imminent. Several games from Xbox Store give the option to play it with GeForce Now. We will dig deeper in a video today. So, what are they talking about? These are snapshots from Japan. And as you can see here, for certain Game Pass games, right? Street Fighter 6 in Game Pass. Yeah, I believe it is in Game Pass. So Street Fighter 6 is in Game Pass, right? Hold on, let's look that up. Let's be 100% sure here. Not to talk out the side of our rear end. I'm gonna go to Game Pass. Xbox Game Pass. We're gonna go to Game Pass and just to be 100% sure. Xbox Game Pass. Let's look and see. Fighter 6. I search. You know what I might have to do? Games. All the games. All the games. PC games. And let's do Street Fighter. No. So Street Fighter isn't. That's interesting. Wow. Okay. Well, this is something that I'm reacting to live because I thought that Street Fighter was in Game Pass, and so now there is Game Pass integration. Here, let me look at something. Right here. So of course, Street Fighter 6 is in. Oh, wow. Oh, so Street Fighter 6 is not in PC Game Pass. It's not in Game Pass at all. But yet it is being offered through, wow, okay. Being offered through, NVIDIA GeForce Now? That is very interesting. And you know what that begs me to believe? This is what this begs me to believe. Now, Microsoft and NVIDIA have a very strong relationship as of late. And Microsoft, I'm sorry. Let me take a look at something. Microsoft is starting to look at that Resident Evil Village. I don't think that's part of Game Pass. So this is Call of Duty Warzone. Wow. So here's what I think is starting to happen. And I'm coming to this revelation real time while I'm recording this. Microsoft is stepping away from a closed proprietary system, and they're looking to turn everything into an open device. And it sounds like to me, because remember, this is what they were talking about. This is what Phil has been hinting to, and then other people. Remember, I said, watch the rumors, but Phil has been talking about this ad nauseum. I really think this is a direction at the moment that they're looking to move to where, what am I talking about? Well, when you look at PlayStation in contrast or Nintendo in contrast, what Nintendo and PlayStation live off of is the marketplace they developed. What am I talking about? Games that are ported to their platforms that you have to have one of their platforms in order to buy. And I'm not just talking about their first party games. I'm talking about the third party versions of Nintendo Switch, the third party versions for PlayStation. Like, they really survive off of people coming to their marketplace. So it's a closed off platform. And they've become very successful in their closed off platform. They are the best selling consoles because their platforms have to be, primarily are accessed, and their marketplaces are primarily accessed through their platforms. You can't go to PC and get an array of PlayStation offered games with dual rights and stuff like how you do with Xbox. Yes, there are some games that are given to you on PC from PlayStation, but you're not interacting with the bulk of their marketplace through PC, like how you are with Xbox. Because there's the Windows Store. You see what I'm saying? You have select titles that they've drafted, they created, that they've put out there. They do have a streaming service. I mean, not a streaming service. They do have a cloud gaming service that you can interact with on PC. But again, that's limited because it's the PC version of that streaming service is not offered. The PlayStation 5 version of that streaming service is not offered on PC. You have to get their current platform. So those two entities keep everything very close to the vest to their platform. Where Xbox is looking to, just market Game Pass and put Game Pass everywhere, and they're becoming much more open to where they want to be malleable, like a Steam store or like an Epic Game Store, where as long as the hardware can play it, we're gonna put it there, and that's where I think this push to Fire TV is happening. And in order for them to succeed and put all of their applications everywhere, they have to open up their hardware, if that makes sense. They have to open up their hardware, meaning, all right, we would prefer that you buy the game from us because we make more money, but we want to give you the opportunity to buy everywhere because that's our bargaining chip, so we can get everywhere, is that we allow everywhere to come to us as well. So what I think is happening is I think that the first moves in those directions are not just the Fire TV moves. It's air apparent that, you know, they are getting on Fire TV, but then they are letting other people on their box. They're letting NVIDIA Geforce Now come on Xbox, on their hardware. And what they're slowly doing is they're making their they are truly becoming hardware agnostic, even to their own hardware, which is very different from a platform holder like Xbox. We've never seen this happen before, but it's a very interesting take. And yeah, so you have a game that's on Xbox that, yeah, Xbox would definitely benefit from you buying the game directly from them. But as you can see, you can't see. I looked on NVIDIA GeForce Now, like Street Fighter is being offered on NVIDIA GeForce Now through Steam. It's not on Game Pass. You know what I mean? I'm gonna look one more time. I'm still shocked by this. Now, Call of Duty's different. But again, if you want to, let's see, PC Game Pass. Street Fighter, no. Special report. I thought there was another way I could look for games. Okay, here we go. All right, so digital stores, Xbox. Only want Xbox games. Street Fighter. Fighter is not. Street Fighter is not offered on the NVIDIA GeForce Now. Yeah, that's insane. What else did we saw? Street Fighter, we saw Resident Evil. No. So neither one of those games are being offered via Xbox Game Pass. So what's happening is, yeah, they're opening up their hardware to different stores. They're starting that process right now. And really what they're going to do is they really want they really want to make it about Game Pass. Like, yes, you can buy directly from them and you can play it natively. As long as there's a Xbox version, you can play it natively. Or you can just buy it from somebody else. They really don't care. That is going to be significantly different, and I'm going to be honest with you, challenging in seeing how Xbox benefits from that, because when you give up your third-party access, like when you forego that 30% that you get from third-party games and the DLC, and you're funneling people to NVIDIA GeForce Now for them to buy it via Steam, that's gonna affect the bottom line. The only way it's a trade-off is if this other hardware that you're on, if it's worth the trade-off because other people see that you're friendly, and because you're being friendly, they now allow you on their devices. That's the only trade-off. We'll see. We will see. I mean, granted, we do have Xbox games now on PlayStation. We got Game Pass on Fire TV. I mean, they're trying to market and promote everywhere. So let's see how that works. we'll see. We'll definitely see how that works. But this is definitely the new Xbox. The new Xbox. The theme is still the same. The new Xbox is all about accessibility. How can you access our games? And in order for us to expand our accessibility, we now have to return the favors. You're seeing what they're doing with NVIDIA Geforce now. We now have to return the favor. And now we gotta have other people's stuff, even if, you know, we don't get that 30% from them for it being sold on our platform. Very interesting stuff. Very, very interesting stuff. Very interesting dynamic. So yes, this is the new Xbox. People better get used to it. Now the question is, will it be successful? Will they work? I'm still going to be a standout. I don't know. I mean, there is you are devaluing your native gameplay for this, and you're at risk to where people won't support you natively. And so the question becomes, if I'm a console player, I can only operate via the console. Console is the only affordable thing for me. Grand Theft Auto 6 comes out. What do I do? Because it's still going to come to the Xbox, but the support may very well be light. It's not coming to PC, so this thing right here doesn't help. NVIDIA GeForce Now doesn't come to the rescue. None of these other platforms that I'm trying to go to come to the rescue, except for PlayStation. But I've already spent my $500 on this box. So now, number one, you got two questions to ask you. If you're a console person, number one, how do you feel about the possibility that the console becomes less attractive, even less attractive, and it may get less support? So those third-party games, you have to go somewhere else and get them. Well, you can get NVIDIA GeForce Now. I think NVIDIA GeForce Now is a great product to have, but it's not free. You got to get a subscription for it. I mean, yeah, you can get, well, technically it is free, but who's going to play at an hour at a time to be bumped into a queue? And then it's definitely going to be a degradation to what your experience would have been natively on the free tier. So you're going to have situations to where third-party support can be lessened. Hold on one second. So you're going to have a situation where third-party support ain't going to be there. Because, or let me not say it won't be there. Third-party support could be lessened because the incentive to buy the box has decreased, because it's not about buying the box. It's just about accessing the software. Right? And that might be great for Xbox games or Game Pass subscriptions. That might actually be great for that. But anything that falls out of that realm, like a Grand Theft Auto 6, what is that support going to look like when it comes to Xbox? Natively. How are the patches going to be? How is that performance going to be? Is it really going to be worth Rockstar's time to really keep it up to par? And then what about other games after that? What if they abandon the Xbox altogether and they're not coming to PC? There's a lot of questions to be answered. And a lot of situations that are left unstable right now as far as, there being an adequate swap. Okay, we're going from this to that, we're going to try this out. Again, the accessibility options for us cloud gamers who've already gone against the norm, that's one thing. But we need people that are tethered to console. Need a viable solution for them. Those things still have to be worked out. So it'd still be interesting to see what happens. But again, this is the new Xbox. They're no longer tethered to the hardware. The hardware is simply an option. Yes, they do get games that are ported natively to their proprietary hardware. But they're not even pushing that exclusively either. Yeah, you can get the stuff that's ported to us, or you can get it somewhere else. Look at your screen. Get it from these people. You can get it from us, or you can get it from these people. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We'll soon see how this all works. All right. With that said, that's it from your boy. It's my thoughts on this. We will be here next Thursday. Talk about this, and we'll be live with the members to talk about not this, but more mainstream stuff. And a very interesting dynamic. I can't say negatively. There are positive elements, definitely. There are negative elements. It's still up in air. I mean, it all falls down on how much will Game Pass be picked up. Will Game Pass be picked up at a rate that nullifies the losses that they will incur in diverting from the hardware, and then by them diverting from the hardware, they are going to get less third-party support because natively they're going to get less native third-party support because they're going to say, well, why would we make a proprietary version for Xbox when it's now at a standstill? They're converting over from really pushing their box in the way that you would push a console. Do we want to make a native Xbox port, or do we not care at all? And secondly, their third-party stuff they're bringing via PC. Well, we don't support PC, so what's going to be the remedy for that? And with all this, if you want the Xbox, get this type of Game Pass, and if you want third party, now you can get NVIDIA Geforce Now, and you got to pay for that. But they don't have everything, so if I want Hogwarts, then I got to go here. Instead of all that mumbo jumbo, somebody might just simply say, "Give me a PlayStation." We don't know. I don't know. We're going to see how all this works. That is the defining factor in if this can break through and make headway to the mainstream. Because if they can do that, then the sky's the limit. But that's it from your boy. Let me know what you think about all this in the comment section below. Because like I always say, here's what I think. Join us here on Thursdays live if you're a member. If you're not a member, hit that membership button and you'll get access to this live. We air the original prior episode every Wednesday, all right, for the public. With that being said, we appreciate everybody. Let us know what you think in the comment section below. Till next time, have a wonderful gaming day. Peace.